Hi, everyone. Welcome back to a special type of video here on RJK English. I'm going to call this Rantings and Ravings. So, these are my opportunity to talk to you about issues that are happening in current events or things I'm interested in. And I'm interested in a lot of things. So, my friend Grace suggested that I talk more about things that I'm interested in. And I thought for English, this could be very useful because we are talking about things that can be emotional, that hit our intellect. And this is the way to learn language. I have a student, I won't name him, but he's from China, from Hangzhou. He'll know who I'm talking about. Um, he challenges himself when he speaks to me in English. He challenges himself to describe difficult concepts. He doesn't say it perfectly. He has to use things like, okay, it's like, for example, he has to use these types of things in order to explain. And then I try to draw out what he's saying. And we often talk about issues that are going on in order to have these conversations. So, in Rantings and Ravings, I'm going to talk about things that I like, and we're going to get to know each other. And then I want to know what you think. Maybe I will say something political that you don't agree with. We should all be respectful to each other, but please talk to me. Add something in the comments. Go to RJK English on Facebook and start a conversation with me. And let's talk about this and use this time to expand your ability to speak in English. So, introduction done. China's Belt and Road Initiative. This is a very exciting initiative. For some countries, it's frightening. For my country of the US, it's shown as frightening. I find it exciting. So, the Belt and Road Initiative is, I think, a $2 trillion. Someone would have to, I think it's 2 trillion, but it might be even more, that China is spending in order to connect itself more to the world. And when I say the world, I mean Eurasia. So to connect itself to Africa and Asia, in order to expand its ability to trade. So today we're talking about trade. This is a difficult subject. So China is building roads overland through Eurasia from China. There's actually a train that is going to go all the way to London from Western China. They are also working on what they call the maritime road or maritime trade routes, which means maritime means ocean. So they're building ocean. They're working on their oceanic trade routes from China through to the Suez Canal. Through they're also working on Somalia and Ethiopia, and then up into Greece. China is doing this by investing in a lot of these countries and also buying up ports, which is controversial. So Greece, their economy is really bad right now, for the last 5, 6 years. China bought some of their ports, and I think for 100 years they get them for 100 years. Probably they didn't. Greece probably didn't get a very good deal, but this allows China to use Greece and they're doing the same thing with Ethiopia, and this allows them to trade very easily in this area. Also, there are overland routes. So, for instance, my friends in Kashmir, they talked about the Belt and Road that is going through to Pakistan. So it's going through Ladakh, which is the upper part of Kashmir, through Pakistan to the Arabian Sea. China wants to be able to, instead of sending out their ships around and through different places, they want to be able to drive things to the Arabian Sea and ship from there. This is going to really help China in the future to expand trade. This is what countries have done throughout the ages. How does China sell this? It seems they are selling it by appealing to history. They're appealing to the historic Silk Road. Okay, sometimes this is called the Silk Road. That's why it's called the Belt and Road. Sometimes the Silk Road is brought up. The Silk Road were the ancient roads we're talking at the time of the Buddha, 500 BC, etc., that went from China through Central Asia and all the way to Europe. And in Africa as well. And they were trading goods across these. This is how education spread, culture spread. And what China is saying is they're couching it as, we need to do this. By doing this, it's going to help your country and your country and your country. And really it will. It probably will. Ultimately, China is doing it for themselves. Every country is doing things for themselves. What does this mean? If you notice on the map, it doesn't go into Korea or Japan. And this is very interesting. What China is doing is really setting themselves up as the next world power. What is not included in this is the US or Canada or Brazil. Because we're not part of that hemisphere. Think about, like, all of Eurasia, of course they would work together. It makes sense. They have a history together. So in a way, that makes a lot of sense. The US, and this is my opinion, has somewhat of a bad effect on the world in some ways, because it sees itself as separate. When a country sees itself as separate and as powerful as the US, that means it's not necessarily a give and take relationship at all times. Now, I'm not saying that it's all bad. No country is good or bad. But in a way, this could be good for the future. To maybe minimize the amount that the US affects the world. It also can connect a lot of Asian countries together. Countries will have to be careful because, of course, China will try to take more and more power, just like the European Union has tried, and just as the US tries all the time. And it will be a different type of relationship. But it is something that you should be aware of, something that you should read about, and something we should talk about. So please give your feedback about this talk. In the future, I will do more screen sharing so that I can show maps, but I haven't developed that yet. Make sure to comment and hit us up on RJK English as well on Facebook so that we can have further conversation as well. See you.